Welcome to The Cultural Contrarian. Our podcasts are intended to be a sequential learning experience to provide a listener a safe and private encounter based upon critical thinking. We intentionally will be inviting listeners to self-examine, to compare and contrast what one believes to be true, what they claim is true, and investigating if something is logically true. Our mission is not necessarily a philosophical one, but one to engage, equip, and empower willing individuals to seek, claim, and reclaim freedom, rights, and independence at their own pace. Please join us becoming aware that we all may be contrarians to the prevailing culture. I came across a very well-written article that was discussing about how to go about wearing a mask, specifically on Amtrak trains, regardless of what state you're in. So I wanted to read this article, just give people a perspective on how you can be prepared in advance to deal with people that may not understand a corporation's policies. So this came from the publication Lew Rockwell. I don't know if people subscribe to that, but a fantastic publication. Love what they write about. So let me read this to us. First call customer service. Say, I am unable to wear a face mask safely, and I want to travel on Amtrak next Tuesday. How do I do that? They will say, is it a medical thing? Say, yes. They'll say, do you have a doctor's note? You can say, no, or I do, but don't want to show you because it lists my condition. Whichever is true, I'm still unable to wear a face mask safely. Now, this is not a lie either. If you need more than 367 ways to say it's unsafe for you or anyone to wear a face mask, have a look at another article in which Lew has authored. It will probably be handled by that point. The Amtrak customer service representative asks for a face shield, the following might be a useful line. I'm unable to wear a face mask shield safely as well. Same problem. They will tell you what to do. Confirm for them what you're supposed to do. Ask them if they can send you some kind of email confirming this conversation. Just so I don't show up and get harassed, because some of these guys working for Amtrak can be pretty intimidating, in addition to law enforcement. Anything that they propose that you do not like, I would say, that does not work for me. What else can you offer? Amtrak customer service appears to have a tremendous latitude with policies. Just try your best to get it in writing afterwards. If you cannot get it in writing, get the name of the person you speak to and be ready to say something like this to anyone working for Amtrak who gives you a hard time. I called about this ahead of time, and Supervisor Jerome Q explained to me exactly what I needed to do, and that is the procedure that I'm following. He told me that this was all in accordance with Amtrak policy, and he assured me that no one who worked for Amtrak and was properly trained would give me a hard time. Now, if that person who you speak to on the phone is not helpful, thank them and get off the phone with them. Call right back and speak to someone else. Also, it's good to record the interaction for yourself to find your flaws and improve your method. If you record that interaction and want to share it with myrealstevo.com email newsletter, I think a lot of people love hearing the experience, especially if it's successful, and will learn from it. It would be an encouraging contribution to the mighty and growing community of folks refusing this nonsense. Customer service for federal transportation, whether it be TSA or Amtrak customer service, has been very knowledgeable and accommodating. They've been well trained, and any claim for exemption is well handled. In my experience, that's the author's experience, it's not my experience, one of the keys is to not take no for an answer and to gently push back. While there are many ways to do that, again, something along the lines of, that would not work for me, what other options can you offer me, can be effective in gently pushing back. Also, do not be afraid to just be silent and let awkward pauses in the conversation do the work for you. My personal experience with Amtrak has been that they are very flexible with this and do not require a mask or test when approached in this way. Despite news reports, the federal government has been very lax and flexible in the enforcement of the policies that the media and political figureheads tout. Largely, this is because the media and political figureheads do not accurately depict the actual policies. They merely say the words that they think will be most effective at ensuring mass compliance. The actual policies tend to be very flexible, with massive loopholes readily accessible to those who push back some. How does that approach sound? So I think this was a very, very good article. I would add some additional foundation knowledge behind this to be empowering for people to step into this conversation. Some of that is that your personal health information is nobody's business. You have no obligation to share personally private protected health information with anyone other than those in your direct care and that are responsible for maintaining the privacy of your care. So Amtrak, Delta, TSA, regardless of the transit authority, those people are not HIPAA-covered entities to secure your private information. Same with EMTs, firemen, or policemen. There is no obligation, or a restaurant owner. Nobody is required to be provided your personal reasons for not having a mask or wearing a face shield. Now many people need to be educated, so people will call this an infringement, and there is a degree of an infringement by requiring you to wear a medical device on your body, but it's more in the domain of a discriminatory practice, that they're going to discriminate you based upon not complying with a policy. Folks, policy is for employees. Citizens abide by law. Statutes, mandates, ordinances, codes are not law. I'm a law-abiding citizen. It's up to my own decision if I want to comply with a policy. And if somebody wants to infringe me for not complying with their policy, someone could make a policy that says no black clothing allowed inside of our establishment. It's a private business open for public accommodation, and they could make such a ridiculous statement. And they could choose to subjectively enforce that or exclusively enforce it. But when it's subjective, it's discriminatory. So if you say I can't, no hat, take my hat off, I don't want to take my hat off. Are you going to demand a woman that's wearing a hijab and tell her to take off her hijab? It's discriminatory. So I thought this was good information. Inside of Cultural Contrarian, I have a lot more information about how to stand on your rights and improve your knowledge and education of what are your rights. And this interaction is really good, but there are things you absolutely don't have to answer. Verbal judo is the trick to emotionally manipulate people to say things that they actually shouldn't say. So I hope this was beneficial to people, and we'll keep providing this kind of value through Cultural Contrarian. Thanks. Thanks for being part of the Cultural Contrarian family. If you haven't already taken the step to see the broader efforts of the CC family, I invite you to go to bit.ly/team-cc. Remember, we can choose to remain tough on ourselves, tender towards others, and always teachable. Have a blessed day.